Sometimes God fixes it where you just can't hide. I was in Nordstrom's looking for a pair of shoes, and there was a young lady sitting in the back, and she started talking to me, and she bought a pair of shoes out, and they was like $119. I said, $119? I said, where in the world you expecting me to get 119? Y'all don't have no $39 shoes or anything? And she said, not for your feet. And I talked to her a little while, and she said, you a bishop, aren't you? I said, you think? I kept on talking. She said, you got the apostolic anointing on you. I said, you want to sell these shoes or you want to lay down on the floor? Don't play with me up in here, because I will lay you out. Amen. It's good when people can recognize you, who you are. And I never try to I don't let nobody know who I am, because I don't want them to give me the front side of who they are not. Amen. I just try to be who I am, just laugh, cordial, and have a good time. Everything has its season and everything has its time. And when you trying to move and be with people, where you going, Willie? Huh? Oh, you finna? Okay, well, if you're going to pastor the church, then I'm going to let y'all take the offering then. You going to pastor then, Willie. Willie said, I'm going to take up the, Pastor Willie say, get the offering. Okay, all right, I'm going to get out the way and let him go on pastor then. Now, when you finish his offering, you preach too, here. Who directeth must prayeth.
Father God, I ask that you help bless over these times, Father God. And I ask that you help everyone and everyone that gave, Father God. And I ask that you help the people that didn't, Father God. And I ask that you let this go for good and not for bad. As I pray, amen.
Willie. I'm going to save you. If you sit there, she going to hit you side your head. You coming back over here. You come back over here and sit down. Don't mess with my Willie. Now I'm doing that because that's why my head got a dip in the back of it. When I was small, it used to bust me in the head. Amen. Amen. Praise His name. Right quickly. What time is it? 9 what? 9:26. 9:26. I got to be out of here in 15 minutes, y'all. I got it. Is that all right? Is that all right? Okay. Right quickly. Right quickly. 1 Corinthians 11, 17 through 26. 17 through 20. I tell you what, I said 15 minutes. It's going to cost me almost 5 minutes to read the script. Let me just do 26 and you can read the rest of it when you get home. Is that all right? Okay. 17 and 1 Corinthians 11 and 26. Give me the HCSB version. Okay. For as often the day is not important, the time not as important, the Sunday is not important, the hour is not important. But as often as ye eat this bread and you drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Let me give you the Message Bible. Every time you eat the Lord's Supper, every time you drink of his covenant, you live out an enactment on what happened on the way to the cross. And you just can't eat this supper and take this supper like you just want to get the juice. But there's a specific memory that goes on that cannot be disgraced, that cannot be dishonored, that cannot be disrespected, and cannot be displeasing in the eyesight of the Lord. Amen? Right quickly. Don't you forget. Don't you forget. Every car maker that's designed, I noticed this big light green pretty vehicle pulls up, and I notice it pulls up at the house, and the neighbor wants to call the police because they think I'm selling drugs, because this type of vehicle pulls up. And I looked on the inscription of it, and there's a round circle in the front. Really didn't know what type of vehicle it was. And it had the inscription of VW. And what Volkswagen was really telling me when it pulled up in front of my house. Now, you might not know the design, you might not know the build, you might not know the structure, but I want to make sure I'm going to give you a symbolism that every now and then when you see this symbol, and to the person that purchased this car, don't you forget. I was watching, sitting by the dairy, and I noticed I got a nick on my socks, and because I knew that the gator was still, but I didn't know he was dead. And I know there's an inscription inside of his. It's not just any shoe that say wear me, but there's a design in there that says Belvedere. that every time you go get a pair of shoes, don't you forget that many personalities who wear purses and they claim they don't have money in church, but you see Gucci, you see Celine, you see Hermes, you see different brands of purses, in church. And surely you wouldn't go buy those type of purses and wouldn't just the value be on the purse and not on the inside. Y'all keep on coming. I'm going somewhere. But they designed them purses to let you know the next time every time you see that purse, you're reminded of the maker of the name, and you're reminded, don't you forget. I was flipping in my coat and I saw an inscription on the inside of the coat, and I bought a shirt and saw the inscription on the inside of the shirt, which reminded me of the label that reminded me, you ought not to forget. You ever been riding in a car and you see a long time ago, they don't do it now, because it's too much technology now, but in the old day cars where all you had was a radio, they would tie up little baby shoes and hang them around the rear view mirror. In symbolicism, now I don't know if the man could remember, but I know the sister wasn't going to forget. Because of the turmoil and because of the sacrifice and because of the body molecular structure changes that she had to go through. But it was a symbolize to put that before that very, don't you forget. Children need to be reminded. Sometime when children get older and mothers get older, they forget about how they wipe them and how they clean them and how they say there need to be something etched in their minds that when they get old and feeble and they can't take care of you no more like they used to, don't you forget. The Lord transitions in this text, and first he starts talking about hair, but he rushes from hair and he goes to the Lord's Supper. He talks about women's hair. He talks about the women's hair being a glory, and her glory is a representative of angels that are bowed down, worshiping God. And he talks about the men being bald. Men being bald represent the unwearing of hair. Low hair represent the submissiveness of God to man. And God submits himself to man, and man submits himself to God. So it's an honor piece. Her hair, her covering, and his not being covered. So he says, don't get hung up. Don't get hung up on the hair. I'm just telling you how it ought to be and what it represents, but hair won't save you. Y'all talk back to me if you can. Then he goes on, he talks about the Lord's Supper. He said, you got to understand that there are some people that when they take the Lord's Supper these days, it don't mean nothing at all. And I turned over about 2:30 this morning and went to the Bible and started looking through it. I started reading about what he said about how significant it is and what meaningful it is. And you mean to tell me you just gonna lay in this bed this morning and not gonna get up? You not gonna show up at all I've done, all I went through, all I suffered, all my humiliation? You just gonna lay here when you can just drive an hour and be here and honor me? As good as I've been to you, how old are you? Like he didn't know who I was, how old I was. That was a trick question. As long as I've been taking care of you, it's not but an hour and a half. And I started thinking about all the things that I've been through, all the mistakes I had made, all the stuff he had erased in my life that other folk wouldn't know. And he simply in this division of time put a hashtag on it and said, don't you forget. But then he says, by the way, we can blaspheme God just by the way that we observe his Lord's Supper. We don't even think about our mind not even on God. So our minds on the body's here with God, but our mind is on the other side of time. We are not even in a consecrated mode. It's just getting the juice and eating the praise. He said, don't you forget. This is just the symbolism. It doesn't have anything to do with the act. He said, don't you forget. Matter of fact, Paul in his Pauline epistle writing suggests to us that even you may not think nothing is going on, but God notices. If the eyes of the Lord are in every place, he notices our consciousness. He noticed our demeanor. He noticed our reference, whether we'll really come to reference God or not, or we just come in and rush out like we're at the Golden Corral. Just food and just drink. Listen. Number one, he says, you got to understand that the first thing is, it's the habitual exercise of the Christian worship. It's the holiest observation of the Christian. No other time in the Christian worship do he tell you to examine yourself. He don't tell you examine yourself at no musical. He don't tell you to examine yourself at no wedding. He don't tell you to examine yourself at no evangelistic conference. But when it comes to his supper, he said, check yourself. Make sure you've been acting Christian besides throwing all the religious lingo, and make sure you've been using the life that you've been talking about. Hallelujah. His word. All that's good. But how are we living? Do we live in a manner that people have to look around us and over us and on us just to see Jesus? I mean, are you the Jesus prototype at work that when they need a prayer, they come a running? Or when they need counseling, they look for you? When they got a problem, they look for God's voice for you to direct. It's the holiest section of Christian worship that we check ourselves and make sure that we are operating as children of God. Second thing is, he says that we never forget our birthdays. But it's hard to remember death days. Can't tell you what year my father died. I know it was January. I know the month, but I can't remember the year or the day. But if there's any time that I ought to remember, or not never forget, that Jesus died. Never forget that there was some folk talked about his death, and they said, didn't you hear the hammer ringing? Will not forget to remember the agony and the suffering of the saint. We're just about around the corner from Easter Sunday morning. But it wouldn't be no celebration about resurrection if it hadn't have been no death. Make sure, oh Lord Jesus, this thing finna get hot. Make sure that you remember the Lord's death. And he says, don't be so casual. Because this more than eating and greeting, this is fellowship. It's important, the fellowship among the brothers. There's so much needed in the fellowship. People are discouraged. People are down. People are broken. People are brokenhearted. People are delusional. People need breakthroughs. People need a blessing. You just need the fellowship. It's just good, the fellowship with the brethren and the sisters. It's important. It's a Christian connotation. It goes Christian, Christ, fellowship. What a fellowship, what a joy divine. Leaning and dependent on his ever. What a blessing here. What a peace is mine when I'm leaning on his ever. Christian man art thou, and you don't want to have nothing to do with your brothers and sisters, fellowship. Jesus said, you must fellowship with the brethren. Why? Because I can't touch you if I don't fellowship with you. Somebody can tell you anything about me. But when you fellowship with me, you learn me, that you don't listen to what folk hear. You stand on what you know. You need, you need to learn folk and quit listening to the chitter chat. No, there's just some things you can't tell me about certain folk in this church. And some folk you can. But I don't have to rest on the testimony of somebody else's laurels. Because of the fellowship, I learned them myself. See, Pastor, while you was gone, Pastor, Rika got back there, she just acting crazy, just raging hell, and don't bring me that man. Not quiet Rika. Matter of fact, Rika too quiet. Rika be so quiet, sometimes I can hear a rat tip on cotton. No, maybe some other folk might have been raising hell and causing confusion, but no, not Rika Mo, not Egg, not Egg's wife, not Suave. That's not her character. And a lot of times people are destroyed right inside God's house because we construe them because somebody else don't like somebody. You'll try to get them not to like them. And one writer said, many times the folk that we hate, the folk we love are 20 times worse than folk that we deal with. Don't you start that this morning. I got to go. Don't you start that. Don't you start. Listen, he said, you got to understand that this is not just a church function. This is not no fraternity where you gather around and say, pass the 11 cup around, don't pass a brother by. We all drink from the Sun Canteen and Cafe Alpha side where you and I would whatever, that. No. This is something. This is not where you just meet at your house or you have a gathering, people finna leave. No, this ain't nothing you just have. No, this is a love feast. It's not about food. It's about love. Well, who cooked the greens? Don't matter. It's not about greens. It's about grace. Yet that we're in the family of grace, that God forgave us of all our, forget about the greens and grab the grace. And just get a little spoon, just a little taste Just to do it. It ain't about the green, just about. Well, what about all the grease? No, don't worry about the grease. Just get the great. The corn was too sweet. The corn. No, forget about the corn. Just get you some Christ. You join the fellowship and get with what God will really want. Don't worry about the corn, bitter sweet. But get you some Christ. Just join the fellowship. I don't know. I don't like my devil egg with mustard. I like devil eggs with mayonnaise. No. Don't worry about the devil eggs. Just make sure you get away from the devil and hook up with the divine. It's called fellowship, baby. You got to make sure that you're part of the fellowship. Don't get caught up in the food. Make sure you get caught up in the fellowship. Then my dears, have mercy, Lord, have mercy, Lord. Then my dears, he said, what you got to understand is that when these people met, they met and instead of fellowship bringing the best out of them, it brought the worst out of them. That's why some folk don't like to come and be around some folk at the church. But let me help you out here. Don't worry about the shortcomings of the folk at the church, because just because they at the church don't mean they in the church. Because just cause they see, look, just cause you go to McDonald's, you don't walk around looking like a Big Mac. Now, sometimes I show up in Burger King and they think I'm a Whopper because it's big as I've been there. But that don't make me no Whopper. You understand what I'm saying? Just because you at the church don't make you no Christian. But if somebody decides to come there that don't have the right attitude and don't right to have demeanor, and you spank them with a little bit of love, have mercy, Lord. They're straightened up. And then he said, some folk came to the supper. They had the CC ministry. They didn't do nothing but criticize and try to compete with one another. I can't. Sounds good what Robert doing, but I can't play like Robert playing. Ain't no need to be getting up there that Sunday, somebody let me play a number. Sit down somewhere and enjoy the gift that God gave somebody else, and say, oh, glory. All this so mess about Sunday best. You make it seem good, but how you living your life? Sunday, don't nobody know who got Sunday. Sunday's best belong to God, because he never made a mistake. He never done anything wrong. That's who Sunday best. It ain't about no competition. I can out-sing you, yeah, but you got a graveyard disposition and a tombstone mind. I can out-teach you, yeah, but your life is raggedy. The fellowship is not about complaining, and it's not about criticizing one another. You ain't got to take off no layer of clothes for you to know it's something wrong with you. But God, have mercy, Lord. I got some cover that you don't know nothing about. I'm covered by the grace. I'm covered by the grace of God. Now my hair might not look like yours, and my dress might not look like yours, might not have a brand of shoes that you got, but I didn't come here to style. I came here to lift him up. You don't know what he done for me. I ain't supposed to run this morning, but y'all gonna make me mark Sister Reese in a minute. You can't tell it. Let me tell it. No. See, you can't take. See, you got to get these words right. You can't say what my Lord done for me, because he ain't yours. That's too personal. You got to say what the Lord, who can save anybody, who can cleanse anybody, who can forgive anybody, who can deliver anybody. That's what he done for me. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. No, don't get it twisted. Yeah. I ain't always smelled like I smell. I ain't always looked like I look. I ain't always been as kind. I ain't always been as nice. Jesus laid his hand on me. Say yeah. Listen. Let me close. He said, listen. When you drink this bread, think about my brokenness. Think about how I suffered, not for me, but I suffered for you. They nailed my hands for you. They put crowns on my head for you. They put rivets in my feet for you. I told somebody, they say, Pastor, how long you been pastoring? I said, I've been pastoring over 32 years. They say, it's a suffering job, and I said, yeah. They say, but are you tired? I said, no. They say, why all the hell that you go through? I say, he got the nails, I got the peace. He got the thorns, I got the peace. He got the rivets, I got the peace. Some of y'all come to church mad as hell. But I give you peace that surpasses. In other words, you ain't supposed to be having what you got, but you got because who you got, not because of what you're going through. Because he'll give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Don't you forget. When you take my blood, that's a covenant. That's a covenant. That's a, you know, I don't even like Walmart stuff. No, I don't. I mean, what I'm gonna wear out of Walmart? Huh? With my arms and with my feet. Now, don't you talk about my feet. Let me talk about it. What I'm gonna wear with my big feet? I don't even like Walmart. I know they ain't got no shoes I like. But every now and then I'll just go through there and see if they got a size 14. Because I know if I don't like them, well, I can always bring them back. Because they got a covenant that whatever you want to change, bring it back. Jesus said, I set up a covenant with you. I shed my blood that is going to wash you whiter than snow. And every time you drink my blood, see this way. See, we had a Lord's Supper on the fourth Sunday, and so if you ain't clean the first Sunday, don't Don't worry about it. If you do something you ain't got no business doing, like curse, cuss somebody. Yeah. Calling one of them old long names with all them adjectives. Don't worry about it. Yeah. If the third Sunday you done did something, don't worry about it. Yeah. Because you're going to get a washing. The fourth Sunday, he said, there's a covenant that I'm going to wash you. Whiter than snow. Now this what somebody say, Reb, you sure can preach. No, I can't. I'm a good copycat. Yeah. Linda daddy was named Elder Cooksey. And he'd always stop in his sermon. And it sounded good. So, he had more experience than I had. So I just decided I'd pick up on it. He'd say something good and then he'd pause. He'd say, hang on, all right. I just decided, pick up on some stuff that he, that he said, and then, that was an old man. I love to hear him preach called J.W. Rose, but J.W. Rose, had a drinking habit, but in all of our badness, there's some goodness, and when J.O. wasn't drinking. Yeah, see, you ain't good all the time. You just good some of the time, but you still act bad the time that you don't want folk to know yet, but you do act because you got it in you. Yeah, but see, when J.O. wasn't drinking, I wasn't trying to go get nothing for him. Yeah, J.O. would be preaching, and he'd stop and he'd say, good God Almighty, and just look like something would just get all over me, So you got to understand that these preachers, J.O. and Reverend Lee, they did. But I'd drive them around and different revivals or something. And they say, boy, say, one of these old days. But what I couldn't understand, why when we was in the car, they would say, one of these old days. But then when they get in church, one of these old days, I don't know what the difference is, but it was just one of these old days. They say, don't you forget. You can't forget. You can't forget. You can't forget. Because what the Lord had done for us, don't you forget. Let me close with a little story. There was a one-room shack schoolhouse. And in the schoolhouse, they would use discipline and they would use strong words to keep the students that wasn't interested in what was going on in class. And so it was recess. And Janie Sue, somebody stole her lunch during recess. So when the teacher come back in, he says, I want to know who stole Janie Sue lunch. Nobody said nothing. So what he did was he used a bunch of harsh words and he threatened them. And back in the back, a little boy started crying. Well, silence sometimes gives consent. And what you do give consent. And so he said, Billy, say, did you take Sue's lunch? He said, yeah, I stole it. Say, why did you take her lunch? He said, I was hungry. Well, the teacher knew because of parent-teacher conference that Billy was the poorest family in the neighborhood. But Billy confessed that he stole the lunch. So looked like the teacher wouldn't whoop him. You know, they tell you always tell the truth. Well, it depends on what's on the other side of it. Billy said, I wanted to say I took it, but I didn't want to say it because I know it was a whooping coming. And so he said, say, Billy, said, come on up here. You say, you stole her lunch. Yes. He said, bend over and take that shirt off. Billy, bent over, start taking his shirt off. He grabbed his strap way back. He bent over and got ready to hit Billy. Big Jim in the back room said, hold on, teacher. Say, I'll take this whooping for him. Big Jim come down the aisle, took his shirt off, made his way down to the aisle. And the teacher said, well, you're going to get the same thing Billy was going to get. And he hit him so hard, and he strapped him so hard, till Billy started crying. But he was whooping on Big Jim. But Billy never forgot what Big Jim done for him. Is it anybody here that God ever told you, come here, take off your shirt, I'm going to put it on you? But Jesus said, I'll take it for me. Say yeah, say yeah, say yeah. See, you got it twisted. You ain't looking good as you think you're looking. You ain't handsome as you think you're looking. You ain't cute as you think you're looking. Somebody just took the whooping for you and said, I'll take it. Jesus stretched him wide, hung him high, dropped him low. I heard Jesus say, I'll take it. Put it on me. Let me have it. What a mighty God we serve. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right?